More questions remain over two Jordanian nationals now in ICE custody who attempted to force their way into Marine Corps base Quantico in a box truck earlier this month. Fox has confirmed the two were in the U.S. illegally, but officials are refusing to release their identities, and neither the White House nor the Pentagon have offered any additional information. For more on this, let's bring in former DHS Acting Chief of Staff Lori Ries and San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond. Thank you for being here. This story is just come to light in the last 48 hours, but officials have known, Lori, for the better part of 2 weeks about this incident, which certainly raises national security concerns. I just want to play for you what the White House, and in exchange particularly with our reporter Lucas Tomlinson, who pressed the folks at the Pentagon. Watch here.
So going to be really mindful these two Jordanians that you're speaking of remain in ICE custody, and given that it is an active law enforcement matter.
I am aware of those reports. I just don't have more information for you.
Sabrina, this incident happened almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You make it sound like you haven't heard of this incident before. Does that mean
I can assure you, Lucas, that we get updates from all of our bases all around the world and are aware of incidents.
Lori, why don't they have more to say?
Well, this is bad optics. It's more bad optics for this administration, and they refuse to give out information about this. And this is not the first base breach that we've had. We had two in March at different bases in California, including one by a Chinese national. And so this is going to continue. Are these dry runs for terrorist organizations? And meanwhile, we have to take into account the state alert that was just discussed in your last segment, and that the State Department is now flush with billions of dollars to bring in more refugees among vulnerable populations, billions of dollars. And the administration has a poor record at vetting these migrants. And so we're going to bring more in through the front door, in addition to people crossing our very open border through the back door.
You raise a good point, Lori, and to be fair, no terror-related motives have been identified or surfaced in this story, yet we have had the warnings constantly from FBI Director Chris Wray in particular, who has been testifying about red lights going off and a threat level being at a point that he's never seen. But you also raised the Chinese nationals, and Supervisor Desmond, I want to get to that with you because you are in ground zero in San Diego County where that is happening, to show our viewers this fiscal year, the past 7 months, there have been 27,583 Chinese nationals coming across. Break it down, 85% or just under 24,000 were single adults. And if you compare this just back to 2 years to fiscal year 2021, it is a nearly 8,000% increase. Jim, why?
Well, the welcome mat is out here, unfortunately, in California and San Diego. We're the #1 area now for border encounters, and about 10% of those people are Chinese nationals now. It didn't used to be that way. Unfortunately, California, we give free health care out. Our local law enforcement can't enforce immigration laws. And I think, the Chinese nationals, they've got this figured out. And unfortunately, fentanyl, the chemicals for fentanyl are primarily produced in China. So that's also coming across our borders. And I think this is more of a issue of public safety, and not only for San Diego, but for the country, in the fact that the people coming across the border are not properly vetted. The Border Patrol agents are overwhelmed. They do not have time to vet these people. And we're also in San Diego, we're getting more and more boats just being grounded or beached on our beaches, where dozens of people will jump out of the boats, walk into our neighborhoods, get picked up. Local law enforcement can't do a thing, and we have no idea who these people are or where they're going. This is more an issue, I think, of safety, for our country, and then the increase in the number of people coming from China, as you had mentioned, and a lot of them are mostly adult males between the age of 18 to 35.
And Lori, when we talk about the vetting, and I think both of you really put your finger on the challenge from a national security or public safety risk front, and that is the vetting process, not only to a terror threat with these Chinese particularly surging, Lori, the challenge to determine whether or not they may simply be here to have ties from the Chinese Communist Party.
Right, and they're coming from countries that we don't have great relations, if any relations with. Those countries, those governments are not going to cooperate and give past criminal histories or national security issue histories for our government. And also, when we are talking about the crush of numbers, the border agents do not have adequate time to vet who is crossing the border. And the administration will just kind of whistle past the graveyard as to the results from it. Meanwhile, Senator Schumer is about to return to his bill and bring it up again this week, supposed border security. It failed in February, and it should fail again because it would codify Biden's open border tools and make us even more insecure.
And that's a great point, Lora. And Jim, I want to give you the last word, and that is to talk about, we've seen an increase in brazenness. The migrant was shot in Eagle Pass, Texas, just a few days ago because of assaulting a Border Patrol agent. We've seen it multiple times. Are you concerned that with so many migrants being released on your streets, that it is putting your community at greater risk?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and like as you mentioned, the vetting is not taking place. I talked to our Border Patrol agents, and they told us that if they're able to do any vetting, they only vet people against our database, our information, not from the country of origin. So it's really very futile. And at least the ones that are coming across the border and are engaged with Border Patrol agents, they are fingerprinted. But the people coming in boats and people just jumping over the fence and the gotaways that we don't even know about, those are the ones that really concern me because we have no idea who they are, where they're going, what their intentions. And just from a safety perspective, it's not safe for our citizens to just have so many people entering our country without us even knowing who they are and what their background is.
And it's those gotaways that Chief of the Border Patrol, Jason Owens, says keeps them up at night. Sources tell me we've had more than 175,000 this fiscal year alone. Lora, Jim, thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Greg.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.